Welcome back to the Arise interview with me, Christian Nogdo. We're live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. By far, this year's Environmental Day theme, biodiversity, is a concern that is both urgent and existential. Recent events from bushfires rather, in Brazil, the United States and Australia, to locust infestations across East Africa, and now a global disease pandemic, demonstrates the independence of humans and the webs of life in which they exist. It is glaring, to say the most, that biodiversity is the foundation that supports all life on land and below water. But many environmentalists say if we continue on our negative path, biodiversity loss will have severe implications for humanity, including the collapse of food and health systems. I've now been joined by Paddy Ezeala, an environmentalist who works with some of the most reputable international aid agencies. Paddy, welcome and nice seeing you again.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, biodiversity and the environment. How key really is this? It's capable of, reducing human population if not handled with care and destroying, nature in its entirety?
Well, I make bold to say that biodiversity is environment itself to a very large extent. The meaning biodiversity, bio means life and diversity of life. And when you look at how nature works, nothing in nature is for nothing. It's biodiversity loss, and that jolted Nigeria to environmental awareness in the 80s. Between 1980 and year 2000, Nigeria lost 3.7 million hectares of forests. In between, in 1988, we had the cocoa saga. The cocoa where some Italians dumped toxic waste in cocoa in Delta State, near Saple. So we had no option than to set up the Federal Environmental Protection Agency. So before then, in 1985, we had the Endangered Species Decree, Wildlife Endangered Species Decree. So from then, environmentalism started creeping into national consciousness. By 1991, the National Parks Decree was promulgated. Then Environmental Assessment Decree 1992. From then, people started talking about the environment. Now, for you to say whether we have really done well since then, I wouldn't say yes or no. People have been working. The minister just left here, reeling out programs and all that. But environmental intervention has never been a one-off thing. It is continuous, and it must be well articulated with all inbuilt mechanisms for monitoring, for evaluation, and further input from various quarters. You see, if you take them one after the other, Nigeria has forests. Different plant species in Nigeria is 4,000 species. So we qualify as a biodiversity country where we have from Cross River National Park to Gashaka Gumti, Okomu Forest in Benin and all that, all very rich in biodiversity. As far back as 1996, there was a national conference on biodiversity with regard to medicinal plants. It was held at the Budukato Ranch. National Park Service was involved, Cross River National Park was involved, the Worldwide Fund for Nature was involved. Professors from everywhere, the DG of National Institute for Pharmaceutical Research, then Professor Charles Wambebe, was there. I am proud to be one of the people that signed the document produced on that day. If you look at what came out on that day and the enthusiasm, you would think that 24 years down the line, that we wouldn't be talking about traditional response to things like COVID and all that. While Madagascar, I know Madagascar has tremendous biodiversity, highest in Africa. I worked for Worldwide Fund for Nature and had a program known as Africa and Madagascar program. I asked them, why is Madagascar not in Africa? Why the two? They said they had to give Madagascar special attention because of the richness in biodiversity, but not too much more than what we have in Nigeria. So now, forest management, call it national park or whatever, has various platforms. You have the park management and protection.
I was just going to come to that, like the Umbe Mountains, which marks the border with Cameroon. Yes. You know, more than 300 kilometers around. They've formed their own, you know, forest guards there, and being supported by one of the United Nations agencies.
Yes.
Go on.
What you should understand is that the Umbe Mountains is on the fringes of the Cross River National Park.
Yeah.
You know, and the minister just said it. The national park is not well equipped, not well staffed. Out of the 924,000 square kilometers of Nigeria, National Park Service occupies 22,000. So because of that inability to police the park very well, because they don't have enough hands and equipment, most of the national parks, 4 of them in particular, those that are contiguous with foreign countries, have the Gashaka-Gumti contiguous with Cameroon, both the Chad Basin contiguous with both Chad and Cameroon, Cross River, Cameroon, then the Lake Chad, the Kainji Lake National Park with Benin Republic. So these parks, thick forests, lie on the borders, you know, and anything can happen. It's already happening anyway. So that's why we have found it difficult to contend with some of this insurgency, things like that, because the military did not even have proper knowledge of this terrain, this topography and all that. When you hear people are killed in southern Kaduna, Briningwari, bandits and all that, that is the Kamuku National Park. You see what I mean? So there are vast swaths of forest not policed properly. I don't blame the National Park Service. It's a question of Nigeria recognizing the importance of National Park Service, equipping them, training them, and bringing in more hands. Because if National Park Service were to be functioning the way it should function, they should lead the charge with regard to biodiversity research, the traditional medicine and all that, ecotourism and all that, environmental education. Nigerians don't know much about what they have. You know, apart from all this biodiversity we are talking about, plants and animals, there are some that are endemic to Nigeria, found in Nigeria and nowhere else. You see what I mean? The Jos Indigo bed, Ibadan Malimbe, Anambra Waxbill, are all found here. The Niger Delta pygmy hippopotamus, it's just Nigerian. White-throated monkey, just Nigerian. You don't find anywhere else. Nigerians don't know, and nothing is being done to conserve them. You see? So, Nigeria has a national plant. Do you know that? Costus spectabilis. The plant you have on the coat of arms at the base. That's Nigerian national plant. How many Nigerians know? So apart from conservation and environmental remediation, we should do more with regard to environmental education. You know, we should do more. If we are rolling back the desert, if we are planting trees, we should also do more to build the resilience of communities in those areas to understand how to survive under such environments, how to respond to the challenges of climate change, you know, so that they don't get wiped off. It's one thing for the environment to be degraded. It's another thing for human beings to go with it or start moving from one place to the other, causing problems and all that. They can be taught how to contend with it because there are existential challenges of climate change which should be treated, you know, separately. You see what I mean? So the time is quite short, but I know that what of Lagos, the flooding you have in some parts of Nigeria is not the one you have in Victoria Island. 1 or 2 more rains, Victoria Island will be as if it's going under. There should be a national response to that. 3,000 erosion sites in the southeast. They just do one today, patch up one, before they finish, another one comes up. So we have environmental calamity staring us in the face. It is not that, it's not anybody's fault. I'm not blaming any government or minister. The issue is that we should be able to
take control,
understand what is happening and articulate strategies that gets everybody involved, media and all that, to face it. It's
I
not,
think we need our universities too to come in handy in
no,
such
there
research.
There is. The Worldwide Fund Foundation, in conjunction with Nigerian Conservation Foundation, set up the Environmental Education Department in University of Calabar. And another one at the College of Education in Hiadolo in Benin. That was more than 20 years ago. They have grown to become big departments and graduating people who know about the environment. More universities should join.
All right, Paddy. I wish we got so much time, you know. Well, there's going to be another opportunity to look at the issues of the environment in Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Paddy Ezeala is an environmentalist and he's joined us on the Arise interview for today. Well, that's it for this edition of the Arise interview. Do join us again tomorrow from me and the entire team here in Abuja. Goodbye and thanks for watching.